Welcome to my presentation. The theme is improve campus life. The theme of this video is how to apply service design thinking to improve life on campus to ensure that students have a better quality of life on campus. In the fourth stage of service design thinking, I will analyze this from four aspects: research, ideation, prototyping, and implementation, and put forward a suggestion to improve campus life. Firstly, in the research stage, we should fully study and investigate students' problems in learning and quality of life in rural hallway. And how to improve the campus environment, this is a big topic. Everyone thinks differently. This involves many aspects such as learning, atmosphere, accommodation, and learning environment, and learning system, and so on. I will collect useful information through the questionnaires and the interviews. So first of all, I checked the school's forum and paid attention to several issues that some students are more concerned about. In this post, I found that everyone is more concerned about the topic of accommodation, such as looking for roommates and room subletting and so on. However, because my major is located in the Royal Holloway Central London campus, so I'm relatively sensitive to accommodation. For the questionnaire, the main content of the questionnaire is to investigate the quality of life of students in the central London and the quality of accommodations provided by the school. And through the questionnaire, I try to ask a few questions. Is your accommodation provided by school or found by yourself? And what are your satisfaction and dissatisfaction with the accommodation? And what do you like about what do you dislike about? And do you have any suggestion for accommodations? From the data I collected, students living in apartments provided by Royal Holloway account for 30%, while students living in the other accommodations account for 17%. And among the 15 students I served, I investigated the average time they arrived at the school. And among them, there were 2 people in 5 to 15 minutes, and 4 people in 15 to 30 minutes, 6 people in 30 to 45 minutes, and 3 people in more than 45 minutes. 3 of the 4 people who arrived at the school in 15 to 30 minutes lived in the apartment in Royal Holloway. When I asked about the reasons for choosing this apartment, most of reasons were that it was provided by the school's official website and was relatively close to the school. They could contact the students of the same school to daily communication and learning. When I investigate the advantages and disadvantages of select the apartment, they thought that the apartment in Holloway could well meet the daily living conditions, and the only disadvantage was that there were few room types in the studio, and the room time area of ensuite is small. Secondly, according to the results of the survey, most students taking classes in the city center show that there are too few apartment choices provided by the school, which is difficult to meet their own standards. So they choose other students' accommodations. But the disadvantage is that it may be a little far from the school. Moreover, many students said that the response time of the school website was too long. When they applied it for a Holloway accommodation, they often received a reply more than a month more due to the number of rooms. Most of the message they received were that there were no rooms. To this end, I took in-depth interviews. I interviewed students living in Garden House, an apartment provided by Royal Holloway. I asked the students a few questions. He is Ipeng. He told me that if you apply for Garden House, you have to go to the website a long time in advance. Otherwise, it's easy to have no room. Through his description, I learned that the Garden House is not only for Royal Holloway students. There are also UCL and LSE students living there, which also proves why many students can't apply for Garden House. Of course, this includes me. What reasons did you choose Garden House?
For me, I think it's because it's close to my campus and it has friendly environment, so I chose this one.
Yeah. And what are you feeling living at Garden House?
Generally, it's okay for me, but I just thought it's the public area is too small for me, and but the environment is quite quiet. So okay.
Yeah, what do you like or dislike about Garden House? And do you have any suggestions for Garden House?
First of all, I think the rent price is fair enough for me, and secondly is this area where I live very convenient for shopping and eating. So yeah.
Okay, I think the information that you provide is useful for me.
Yeah, thank you.
I also asked Kevin. Kevin told me that it takes him more than an hour to go to school every time. He told me that the reason for the long time was that he booked the wrong apartment. And he should have booked the apartment in the downtown campus. As a result, he booked the apartment in the Agam campus. He complained to me that the division of apartments on the school website was not clear, which led to his booking the wrong dormitation. Every time he goes to school, he has to change the train and the round trip time is also very long. According to my preliminary research and investigation, for students attending classes in the city center, the problem of student apartment poses the students. First of all, the apartment provided by the school are together with the students from other schools, resulting resulting in a shortage of houses, and the room area and the public area are, are not large. And secondly, it's not easy to find an apartment for the downtown campus on the school website because Royal Holloway has two campus. If students pay little attention, the reservation will be wrong. I created a virtual room for students taking classes in the city center and in the selection of the two apartments respectively, and focus on several problems such as the number of rooms, convenience, comfort, and so on. The purpose of designing this rule is better highlight this improve the life on campus, and taking accommodation as an example. The process of ideation is very important. Brainstorming is the most familiar and famous way to quickly generate any ideas. Firstly, participants should put forward ideas, and participants should maintain information and basic ideas. You can write all the ideas on the whiteboard and collect and summarize all the ideas. Of course, the promise is to focus on a fixed theme. Our theme should be to study the current situation of apartments and ideation method to improve this situation so as to improve campus life. The first is your ideal studying point, how to improve the campus life in the center of the hallway. Keeper's life here refers to the accommodation in the city center. During the presentation, participants should understand the background and the content of the topic. This can effectively carry out the following discussion. How can we improve the living environment of apartments? And what are your suggestions and questions about the apartment you live in now? And choose the apartment provided by the school and compare it with other student apartments. This task is challenging for participants. Participants should spread their own thinking to think about the topic, narrow the scope of ideas as much as possible, and put forward the ideas with details. We can ask participants to submit their ideas through whiteboard or links. This can be done through some software or face-to-face. After everyone has submitted these ideas, the next stage is to collect the information. So far, we can get a lot of ideas. These ideas can make students have a better chance to listen to others' opinions so as to combine ideas and select targeted ideas so as to think about how to improve the current situation of students' accommodations. Combined with brainstorming ideas, we can use how might be. This method firmly builds ideas on research and exciting knowledge. We got a lot of ideas in brainstormings. We select several suitable problems for analyze. How might we improve campus life? Participants can describe the problem and propose solutions through a piece of page or whiteboard. How might we change the current situation to fill the hallway students' apartments in the city center? How might we think about the apartment activity areas? How might we improve students' satisfaction with the accommodation? Through these ideas, we should also consider how we implement them and how difficult and easy these ideas are to implement in order to better carry out to the next stage, prototyping. So in the prototyping stage, we can list the specific problem that students are concerned about and improvement plans. We can use investigative rehearsal. The investigative rehearsal is a structured and constructive and systematic way to check interaction and formulate new strategies. It can be used to examine, understand, and attempt behaviors or processes. We should try different ways to cooperation. The school can place the suggestion box and check it regularly. Reply in time and understand the needs of students in time. After the scheme formulated, the rehearsal can be carried out according to the structure or process. Check whether the suggestion is useful. In the implementation, we should consider how to implement our scheme. The school can decide what advice to take according to its own situation. Implement the recommendations mentioned in the prototyping design to an acceptable extent. For example, increase the number of apartment rooms, the public areas of the apartment, and what expects to improve students' satisfaction with the apartment, and how to optimizing the apartment reservation system and so on, so as to meet the needs of students as much as possible. Finally, we hope you like the presentation and understand our method. So thank you for listening. This reference page.